afternoon. Welcome to Healthy Lifestyle. I'm Lorianne Casdia. Our goal at Healthy Lifestyle is to inspire, educate, and empower you to fulfill a healthy, emotional, spiritual, and physical life so you can feel empowered to live the life you have always wanted and dreamed. Today, we have our good friend Gary Joseph from Beyond the Spirits on. How are you, Gary?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. Great to have you back. It's been a couple of months. You've had a lot of exciting things going on.
Yes.
That's great. But happy to have you back. So it's this time of year. It's all spring. You know, I love this time of year. All the blossoms are coming out. It's getting warm again. You hear the birds chirping, right? It's all good, which doesn't at all segue into what I want to ask you about. I just wanted to mention that. I'm so excited because it's a really nice day. Being inspirational, and you're a spiritualist.
Absolutely.
And I've always wanted to tune into, and I've been working with you and tuning in to my intuition. Mm-hmm. So I was thinking to myself, well, other people want to do that. How do you start doing that? Why don't we talk about how one can tune into their intuition? Because we kind of are taught to ignore it and to just follow along and do what everybody else does, not to follow our intuition. So why do you think we get taught that?
Well, I think because we're in a human society, we tend to be more within the moment of where we are here. So we'll look at, what's happening at our jobs or what's going on immediately with our family. And we tend to tune out the spiritual aspect of what's going on, the purposes behind what's happening in the human world.
Right.
So I think we get so caught up in that because, it's the world in which we live in seems to be a one-dimensional world that just really wants to focus on the moment and the issue at hand or the event that we're doing at that moment. And we're not really looking at the long term or the more in-depth purposes of it, the celebration of it or anything along those lines. So I think that's why that happens.
Yeah, I think there needs to be more gratitude too. If you're sitting there looking at things from a grateful standpoint, those issues or challenges that you have aren't as large. And also, if you look at it from a time standpoint, from a scope, it's only a few minutes potentially of your day or of your lifetime. Where we focus on it and everything is a disaster. I have someone that I talk to a lot, and everything is at this high level of disaster. Everything's a disaster. I'm like, okay, everything can't be at that same disastrous level. So you really might want to look at just how you're looking at things. It's crazy. So what are some of the things people can do to really tune into their intuition?
Well, one of the greatest things you can do, one of the most primary things to do is to learn breathing.
I do that every day.
I know, we all do, but none of us really actually breathe.
Okay.
So when you're looking to breathe, you're not just looking just to go, that's breathing for need.
Don't make this into a different,
I'm sorry,
radio
we're going
show.
in a bad direction. Yeah, that's pretty funny. This is not good.
Tact a different way.
Let's go. Spiritual. But when you're really looking to become your spiritual breathing, you are looking more at taking the deeper, much more right from the diaphragm. You're taking that deep breath in, holding it, and blowing out really, really hard. And what you're really doing that is because you're actually taking in all the air. It surrounds the lungs, the center of your soul. And what it does is it actually expands your energy. And you're allowing yourself to become more in the spiritual sense than in the physical moment.
Right.
And that clears our head. It actually puts us in a different, calmer place. And when we're in a calmer place, then we could become more in tune to our surroundings.
That's when I usually say we're in our observer, when we're in a calmer place and not being emotional. And that's why the breath is good. Mm-hmm. What else does the breath do for us? Because I know it's almost like a timestamp. It takes a moment. You're taking a moment. Resetting yourself.
Exactly. It calms you down. It allows your body to have more oxygen, of course, and gets everything flowing throughout the body. in the physical point. And then, of course, in the spiritual point, it's doing the same exact thing, only not with blood and not with, the cells in your brain, but instead it's doing it with connection. So when we're doing that, we're actually connecting in a deeper way. Of course, we have to learn to get out of our own way in order to do that. So how do we do that? We meditate right after it.
Right. So here's a question for you. We've spoken in the past about morning rituals. I just want to go over for any new listeners, your morning ritual. And then how do you do that when you have partners and people who come, like kids who come running in? And, I know that we're supposed to set our day and our intentions for the day before we put our feet down. But sometimes we don't always have that capability.
No. Reality sets in, especially when you have little kids.
Yeah.
What I do now that my kids are much older, what I do now is I get up in the morning and my wife's laying right next to me, and she's usually sleeping, or sometimes she's up, just kind of like laying there. And I go through my deep breath, I exhale, I clear my mind, and I feel my energy in the center of my chest. And then what I do is I speak to God. And I just say, good morning, how are you? And I'm looking for a really productive and great day. And, hopefully this will happen, that'll happen. How do I come to know and love you more with each passing moment of the day? Help me to help those that come before me, that you've placed before me. And then I usually get up and I'll say, I'm planning to do this today. I'm planning to do that today. It's like you would have a conversation with your family member over a phone.
Right.
And then after that, I usually, I'm done and I'll just say, it takes me a couple of minutes. I don't sit there for hours. And then I'll just say, all right, lead me to my day. And I get up, I go into the bathroom, I look at myself in the mirror, I tell me how wonderful I am, and I say I'm amazing. And then
you are amazing.
I thank you. And then my wife usually goes, there he goes again. and I laugh, and that starts your day off, Yeah. And then I get dressed, I run off, and I do my thing. And believe it or not, sometimes I listen to Joel Osteen, plug, and on the radio, going into work on Sirius Radio.
Sure.
And then sometimes I'm listening to jazz music, whatever really calms me down. Sometimes it's calm, meditative music, depending on what it is. And then when I get into work, it's, when I look at it, in my most spiritual moment, I get to do what I love to do, which is I get to read for people, and I get to actually, help guide them, and, spiritual guidance, and we get to know each other, and we help to grow each other. And then by the end of my day, I'm off, and I've had a very fulfilling day, and I feel wonderful. Go home, spend time with my family, take my shower, go to bed, and tell everyone, give me a few minutes, and I go lay down, and I take my deep breath, and I thank God for my wonderful day. Now, when I had kids, it was a little different.
Oh,
they would run in.
Yeah,
they
sure.
Would run
and
in,
jump.
And they would yell. They would carry on. And, I can't believe Joe did this, or Samantha did that. But I am usually just like, I've always had my wife and I are very in sync with each other.
Yes.
So she would be like, leave Dad alone. He's meditating, or, and that's something that was common, to say in the house. It was okay. Dad needs his time, or Mom needs her time.
It's okay to take your time for yourself.
It's important for the kids to see it.
Yeah, because they learn to take time for themselves.
It's a priority.
So it's a role model. It is a priority. You're showing them by example. That's the best way to show our children, right?
Absolutely.
So nonverbal is a lot more impactful than we really think.
They are watching everything you do, even when they're older. My son's 27, my daughter's 24. They still look at how we handle things.
Yes.
And they'll come for advice. And sometimes, believe it or not, I go to them for advice.
Sure, yeah.
Because I think that, their experiences in more of the newer part of the world is going to be different than my experiences at their age in this world, in the world that I was in.
Sure.
So I do like to, get their opinions on that. And I think that's how we still continue to grow, even in the world we're in.
Yeah, no, that's a really good vantage and good point that you take guidance from them as well. I do from my boys too. Yeah. It's a very interesting way of them looking at it. Plus, it recenters you, because sometimes when you're in the middle, I say to people when I'm mentoring them, it's easy because they go like, well, how'd you come up with that? Well, it's easy. I liken it to you being in a swimming pool. You can only see so far.
Yeah.
I am standing on the coping, looking down all around you, saying, shark in front of you, shark in back of you. And it's easy for me to do it. I'm also not emotionally attached to the outcome. And that's one of the things that I think is helpful when you have someone like a spiritualist like yourself or myself as a mentor we're not emotionally attached to the outcome. But when it's about us, I am emotionally attached to the outcome. Thank you very much.
We all are. We all are.
So that's why I was asking those questions. So how else can someone get involved in really associating with their intuition? Because once I started getting connected with my intuition, and that's with work with you, it really is. Days are so much nicer, and you just know, and you see signs all over the place, and you're really paying attention. And I feel like from that point forward, I was finally awake. I wasn't sleepwalking. I was awake and loving every second of it.
I'm glad you said that, because what it is it is an awakening. And it awakens your soul. It awakens you even in this world when you're looking through your eyes. You're looking at things differently.
Yeah.
You're looking at them not just deeper, sometimes even less deep. Sometimes we look so much into things that we're actually missing the moment or missing the point.
Right.
So the other things that I would suggest is that for people to get into a good based class, some place where they can actually grow and allow people to mentor them into a spiritual atmosphere to help them grow again spiritually. I do offer classes, as you know.
Yes, they're fantastic.
Yeah. And
it's like-minded people too, so it's very safe because everybody's there for the same reason at different levels. Some people are more naturally intuitive and or tuned in to their intuition a little bit more than other people, and it's all good.
Yeah, and it works really well when you have a good mixture of people, and everyone is at a different level or everyone has a different gift. Because everyone gets to see that, and you all blend with one another, as you know from your class.
Yeah, I love them.
And then I do individual ones where there's one person that comes in and sits down for a specific thing. So I offer both of those, and I offer beginner classes and a beginner part, and then there's an intermediate one, and then after that there's an advanced one. What the beginner is meant to do is to identify your spirituality, to show you the tools and how you can place yourself like in a different frame of mind, how you can actually become one with your, center yourself with your spiritual self. And what you really want to do is coexist between your physical world and your spiritual world. That's what the beginner's course really does. It helps to identify what is my gift, what's my main gift, and then you work from there. And then, of course, the intermediate goes into something completely different. You're a little bit more active in what you do. And then, of course, advances, all you do is go places, do things, read people, and that's really what you do.
So exciting.
I know. It's very exciting.
No, it really is neat. And just having some of the experiences, it's even hard to articulate the experiences. But it really, it's wonderful, and it follows through your day. It just really amps up my day.
Yeah, it's meant to be life-changing.
Yeah, and it is life-changing. And I liken a lot of it to the law of attraction, though. So it's all part of that, and how your mindset and setting your day. If you say you're going to have a bad day, you're going to have a bad day.
That's right.
If you're anticipating a bad day, you're going to have a bad day. You anticipate a good day and how brilliant you are, which you do every day. You're brilliant every day. Yeah. So it really does work. Yeah. It works. And I love that you challenge us. You go out and say, test it, try it. Do it.
Absolutely.
And I do. And it's amazing when it works. And you sit there and you feel like you know this inside scoop, which is like the biggest kept secret. And yet it's not.
Yeah, it isn't.
We just don't do it.
Right.
We just don't do it. I don't get it. It's so
we
cool.
don't do it because half of us don't even realize that it even exists. And the other half who does have some sort of realization we don't know how to make it work.
Right.
All the time. And by getting in a good based educational class or somewhere where you can actually help grow, that's going to help you to do that and remind you to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you become more spiritual than you are physical, and your world is awakened, and you lead a much more fulfilling life. You really do.
Yeah, and different people come into your life. You know, the people who don't serve you any longer just kind of disappear.
They drift away.
They disappear, and or if it's not useful, they shouldn't be there anyway.
That's right.
Toxic people go away, and then suddenly you're surrounded by these amazing people who challenge you, who teach you more things, who make you happy, and it's just wonderful. It's just like minds attract.
Yeah,
right?
You want that. Absolutely want that. You're looking for that. You're looking for each other to validate one another, and you're also sitting there and you're going through your days together, and then you can actually expand that in your own families, in your own home. Just by the things you're doing, they're again like children viewing what you're doing, and they're like, I like that.
Yeah.
And they're going to start picking things up too, and you're actually broadening the sense of spirituality in your own home.
My son Nicholas always go, yeah, Mom, it's the universe. Yeah, I get it, the universe. And yet, on the other side of the coin, he's like, yeah, well, this happened, but I guess it was meant to be. I was like, oh, and that's different than the universe, apparently. So it's very funny. So he is listening, he's seeing, and it's really cool. Yeah, he's getting it. And doing the meditations or just making it different and just very in tune.
Yeah.
Very, very in tune. And it's a great feeling.
Yeah, meditation is very important. So, that's another aspect of it. And then, of course, I'm very big on making sure that as you grow, you are continually educating yourself as well, reading materials and things in which that are going to help you grow intellectually. But then also it balances the spiritual aspect of you, so it allows you to grow spiritually as well.
Yeah.
So, we don't realize that education is just not a human form. The books and things are there now because they help us also spiritually grow. It's just a matter of what we choose to read.
Right. And usually it just comes to your attention. Like you'll be walking by and all of a sudden this book will just jump out. Yeah. Or, Joel Olson will jump out.
Yeah.
Or something will happen that's necessary. And if you're paying attention, you'll stop and you'll look at it. Suddenly a video will come up on your phone that normally wouldn't come up on your phone. Watch it. Pay attention. There's a reason why it's happening. See, this is what we talk about every week about creating new habits for yourself. These are some of the new habits to open yourself up to seeing what's around you, seeing those signs, and the signs are there. They're like obnoxiously there. When you start really paying attention to them, there are a lot of them. So from license plates to, signage to incidents happening. A friend of mine just texted me to ask me a question, which was very business oriented at 1:11. And she got so excited. She's like, look at that. I text you at 1:11. So, and I was able to help her out. So it was really great. But those are signs that say, yeah, you're doing the right thing. You're in the right place. And it will give you confirmations. That to me is a confirmation.
Absolutely. And again, it's a matter of what you recognize or what you're in that mindset of recognizing.
Yeah.
And they always come at times that we least expect it. And the next thing you know, we're like, was that a sign? No, it was a sign. It's a sign if you know it to be.
Yes, and it's least it's expected and always when you need it.
Always
when you need it. And that's when you should be looking the hardest, when you need some kind of sign. I just had a confirmation of that, and just having one of those days, and all of a sudden there it was, bam, right there. The sign was right there. And it was nice to be able to recognize it and went, I get it. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. I was very grateful.
And being spiritually evolved like yourself, I mean, that you wouldn't be able to miss that.
No, but in the past I would have, because I would have been in my head and worried about what other people think. And I'll say this a million times on this show. It's none of our business what anybody else thinks. Just have the right intention, do the right thing, and we're here to serve. So that's what I do.
Service is what we do.
Yep. We serve each other and try to find out what our lessons are. So it's good. Life is good, right, Gary?
Great journey.
Yeah,
I love
it's been. Well, you've been witnessing it, so
yeah, it's great. I love my journey.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good. So stay with us for the second half. Yeah,
absolutely.
Excellent.
My
We
pleasure.
will be right back. You are listening to Healthy Lifestyle with Lori Ann Castillo. We're here with Gary Joseph from Beyond the Spirit, and we will be back in a few to continue our conversations, especially about spring cleaning. Welcome back to Healthy Lifestyle. I'm Lori Ann. If you have any questions, comments, or ideas on topics or guests you'd like to hear more from or about, please email us at healthylifestylewithla@gmail.com. And of course, follow us on social media at Healthy Lifestyle with LA. I really appreciate, and we always try to respond to everybody. Sorry it's been taking a little long. We've gotten a lot of emails recently. So getting to you, I promise I won't leave you out, and appreciate the feedback. It's really been absolutely wonderful, and I feel very blessed that you're with us. Speaking of being blessed, our friend Gary Joseph is here, who does house blessings. And I figure what a great time to do a house blessing. It's spring. We're spring cleaning. I just got a whole bunch of work done on my house. I'm so excited about it. I want to have you in to do a house blessing. Tell us about your house blessings. This is great.
Absolutely. You're right. Spring cleaning.
Yes.
We're cleaning our physical homes. We're putting our clothes, our winter clothes away.
Yay.
We're getting the much less bulkier clothes into our drawers that we can now fit in there.
Yeah.
We could do all that stuff, put the boots away. So while we're cleaning all of that up, one of the things we're not thinking about, because we're in the physical world, is our spiritual cleanup, because we need to do that. So one of the things that I do, and I love doing it, it's just a passion of mine, is doing house blessings and cleansings. So in that, what I do is I actually...
Windex or... No, that's not what you meant.
Oh. No. Sprayway.
Oh, Sprayway. Gotcha. I use LA Outrageous LA.
Oh, really?
Only because my name is in it.
There you go.
No, it actually works really well.
It's all about you.
Well, really? You've known me how long, Gary, and you don't know that already? Stop yourself. No, I'm sorry. So go back. I'm just joking.
So now with Sprayway, we're going to use the spiritual Sprayway. What I really do is it's a very intricate process, actually. It is done with a specific type of sage that I get. It's an American Indian sage.
Nice.
And then I also use holy water. And I am able to go from place to place within the house. First thing I do is I examine the outside of the house to make sure, that it's actually good for me to go in there. And make sure I can bless it. That's a whole nother subject.
Yeah, well,
and once
it has to be safe.
That's it. Once I go in, I go through all the doorways. I go through all the window ways. I make sure that each and every one is sealed off.
Oh, hold on. Wait, you say, you saw my face. You go through all the windows, you climb in and out of the windows?
Yeah, I go through everything.
I was like, no, what's
energy,
Gary doing on your roof, Lorianne?
My energy goes in and out. No, I'm
Understood. Thank you.
No, actually, what it is really once you start with the sage, there are specific prayers to be said. And what I do is I go through the entryway. And that's the first thing I do is around the doorway with the sage, and I say these very specific prayers. And then you go to each and every room. So when you're going into the room, you're making sure that you go around the doorway. You go in, you take care of all the windows. You make sure that anywhere there's an opening and an exit. And then you can even do a fireplace. You have to do that also because there's a flue there, flue. And then you go into different aspects of the house. Once you leave the room, you're sealing off the room. And what you're saying at that moment is that this room is now, sits with God. So it's protected. And then you move to the next room. It goes through each and every one aspect of the rooms. If I feel things going on inside the room, I do note it. I make sure I do speak with the homeowner about it. The homeowner, there has to be at least one person that walks with you. We do have candles that we do hold during that. And again, they can say the prayers with us. We would like that. Sometimes people say it to themselves. We say them out loud.
Sure.
And then after we're done with that, we go throughout the entire house. We do the foundation, which is the basement. We do where the attic is. We go to where the attic opening is. And from there, then we go to outside the home. And when I go to outside the home, I go from all four corners of the property. So I walk the entire property line. And when I'm doing that, I'm also saying prayers and blessings. The key thing here is that while we're doing that, we are also centering all of any kind of negative energy or anything that is harmful or anything that is mischievous or obstructive to the family or the energy of the home. And then once that's been gathered in one location, then it's banished. And you'll see...
Does that include moles?
Everything.
Awesome.
I'll be an exterminator soon. But what I really do is anyone who's looking at me, I always tell them, gee, I hope your neighbors are cool because they're going to see me outside your home doing this very, very sharp motion of flowing my hand up and down, almost like I'm throwing things into the street. I said, and with that, I'm basically saying that I'm banishing all negativity and evil 2,000 feet past the property so that nothing can come around that property. Even if there's a negative individual in your own family, they must conform to the positive nature in which you're asking them to comply with. And you'll know that because half of them will tell you, I can't make the party, I don't feel well, I have another thing planned. These are people that are refusing to conform. And when they do come onto your property, for any reason, they're much better.
Really?
And yeah, it is amazing.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. And it's called a house blessing.
It's a house blessing and cleansing. It's both in one thing. Yeah.
And they can go to beyondthespirit.com and sign up for that.
Yep. They can go to beyondthespirits.com and they can contact us from there. They're best off contacting us at 631-889-0844. They can speak to my assistant, Marco, and he will definitely schedule that for them. That is something that we do ask very specific questions with regards to the home. Size of the house and so on and so forth, size of the property. And then if there's any issues that they wanted to have addressed, certainly I sit down with the homeowner and I go over everything before I even start.
Right.
Because I want to know if there's any kind of energy or if I picked up any energy, I really want to go over that with them.
Yeah. And Marco's fantastic.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
You are.
And we do them on Saturdays.
Yeah.
Only on
Saturdays? Okay.
Only on Saturdays.
Do they work better on Saturdays? I'm
no,
so fresh today, aren't I?
Yes, it's wonderful. Though. I like that. I like a spark in you.
So fresh today.
You're always fresh.
Well, that's true. That's true.
In a good way.
That's just me. No, that's really exciting. I can't wait to have it done. I just have to wait till it's ready.
Yeah.
So I'm not ready yet.
We actually have a large calling for it. So, we do try to get, some people have very specific things going on in their home.
Yeah.
And they do have more of an emergency situation. So we do get them in fairly quickly.
You're always accommodating.
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
Always want to.
Even in your readings, you're very accommodating, although your schedule is way out. It's really hard to get scheduled. With you. So
I think it's somewhere in like May of 2020 or something.
Yeah, something like that. I know last year I had to book for this year.
Yeah.
So, and I know you, son of a.
No. See, it doesn't pay to know me.
No, it really. There's no advantage.
It pays to know Marco though.
It does.
Marco's the one that knows.
Yeah, he does magic. He really does.
He does
magic.
Yeah.
No, that's really exciting. I love that, and I really love. Just to go back on what we were speaking about in the first half is the psychic. Classes and being able to really tap into your intuition. Some people get when you say psychic, they get wigged out as opposed to intuition. It's really the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. I mean, psychic is a general term. As I tell everyone when they come to see me, I'll say, so have you ever been to a psychic before? And they'll say, oh yeah. I say, what type? And they usually go, psychic? And I'm just
there's different types. Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't go to a brain doctor for your hip. So let me tell you, because, if you're wanting to get a certain thing out of it, you want to get the most you can. So if you're looking to contact someone who has, transitioned over, then you want to go to a medium for that.
Aren't you a medium too?
I am a medium,
yes.
Yeah. I'm actually an extra large, but...
you are not.
I'm a large. But,
so you know who's fresh. Just saying. Right back at me.
You're rubbing out on me. And then if you want to know more about your own life, that's more of an intuitive and sensitive. They'll give you more direction into where you're headed, the journey that you're on, and certain things. You're never going to get 100% because you're not supposed to. Right. The journey is yours to, you have free will. And you don't want things that are going to interrupt it or cause you to change your direction. So certainly those things never would come out anyway, so people would not have to worry. I myself will never see something like death or things like that because I do believe that's between us and God. So no one ever has to fear those kind of things coming in to see me. And then certainly with me, there is no time frame. So I could be there with the person for an hour, and some readings have gone as much as 3 hours.
Yeah.
So, I don't, it doesn't go according to like a specific time frame. It really is about the experience. It's about what comes through, and to make sure you get the full information. Yeah,
it's really helpful to have kind of that outline and understanding, and then you look for it. And that's when I think that's what started my desire to get that, to really hone in on my intuition because of things that you said. And it just really, it opened my world completely. It didn't change anything. And like you said, free will, you can still go down a path that's not according to what is said, or changing one or two things can change the direction that you're going. Like you're going on a trip. If you take a different road, you're going to end up in a different place, potentially. I believe, and I think probably because you taught me this, is that we're going to end up where we're supposed to end up anyway. It's just the route that we take.
Absolutely. You can go the easy way, you go the hard way.
Yeah, but we're going.
Yeah, you take the scenic route or the direct route.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes scenic route isn't bad.
Sometimes, most of the time not.
I know.
Usually it's a lesson we have to learn, and we have to learn it over and over again.
I love scenic routes, though.
Do you?
I think I learn more.
Well, you do learn more in scenic routes. Yeah, of course.
Sometimes you do get the direct, but
there's a reason why you have to be on that trip
Absolutely.
anyway, because you're supposed to learn something.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
all the things that have happened to us in our past absolutely make us who we are today, but also have put us where we're supposed to be.
Absolutely.
Right?
You got that right.
Yeah. So, and that's why putting out there really happy, good stuff helps you have an easier route.
Yeah.
And I think that's the pretty scenic route, as opposed to the not so pretty scenic route.
Yeah. You don't want to go to the pretty, not so scenic route.
No, because
the not so pretty scenic route.
Yeah, it's,
Now, can I tell you what else we're going to be doing?
Oh,
we're
what else?
Very excited.
You got new stuff?
I haven't even told you yet.
What?
This is breaking news right here.
Breaking news on healthy lifestyle. You heard it here first.
At 103.9.
That's right.
We are going to be doing expert classes, meaning, so everything to build one's spirituality. So this means that whereas before I have a lot of different clients that go to several different places, instead I'd rather them come to where I am, and I will have those experts come in. So I will be part of it. So there will be, if we want special meditation classes, I will get the best person that I feel is the person who teaches meditation in the best way. I'm going to be doing Reiki healing. Now, me, of course, I'm not a Reiki specialist, not a Reiki master, but I'll have one place in there, and I'll be part of the group. And then that, we'll have various different things going on.
So different modalities that
absolutely.
people can have accessibility to, but under your guidance.
Absolutely.
Which is so warming, because you really do have this obvious potential and capability to pick out the right people who do provide that same type of feeling.
And those classes will only be 10 in a class.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Not be more. I want to keep it very, very intimate.
Even your psychic classes, you don't make them huge.
Nope.
With purpose.
Yeah, well, people who come to me for psychic learnings, I have to say at one point we had a little over, let's just say 50 or 60 people. It wound up only being 6 in the class, only because some people just aren't there yet, and I don't want them wasting their time or anything else, their resources, to come into a class that they're going to be very disappointed at.
Right.
That's not the point. The point is that they can grow spiritually. And if I don't really feel that they're in that point, they can go somewhere else if they'd like. But if I don't feel I can do something to help them get there, then it's just not the right timing for it. So I make sure that, everything I do is within, a very personal experience.
That's the magic of you, because you really do. You won't let people do things that they shouldn't really be doing.
No,
you won't take their money. You won't just do it to just do it.
No,
you'll do it because it's going to benefit them.
That's right.
And I have such great regard and respect for you.
Thank you.
I adore you. And
I know.
all joking aside, seriously, I've met a lot of different people in this, I'll say, industry, and they're all different levels. No different than mine as a marketing strategist and a mentor. There's a lot of people who will just take your money and waste your time and or try to fit you into some kind of pattern that they already have. And that's not what you do.
No.
And I'm so grateful to have you in my life. And I know you've helped a lot of people out that I've sent to you. Unbelievable. One of my dear friends has just healed so much as a result of what you did and what you were able to tell her. Delivering that kind of news and giving her that connection gave her the hope she needed. And she is just on fire. She's a bright light and just really moving in the right direction. Still, she has a lot of healing to do.
Yeah.
Loss is difficult.
It is.
But with the guidance you had provided and the information you provided her, it gave her the sense of peace that I hadn't seen in a long time with her.
Oh, that makes me feel wonderful. Thank you so much.
It's wonderful. I love sending people to you. So
thank you.
If you have the ability or desire to speak to someone, you really need to reach out to Gary at beyondthespirits.com. Seriously, know I only bring people who are really very high valued and here, and that's why I really recommend you.
Thank
I really
you
do.
so much. I really appreciate that.
No, you only do good stuff.
Well,
so.
the only clients I have are the ones that do recommendation. We don't do any kind of advertising. I'm not interested in it.
Yeah. Well, you don't need to. Word of mouth is on fire too.
Yeah, we've had many opportunities to go into many different places. I come here because I know you.
Oh,
and,
thank you.
Absolutely, and I know that the kind of quality and the kind of person that you are. So that's something that I actually connect with. So I'd be more than happy to always be here. You know, I think that that's such a privilege for me, and it's definitely a part of my journey. Other places, not so much.
I hear you. I hear you. It's safe, and I know you're
not interested in the whole TV thing. I'm not interested in any.
Yeah. No. But yet you deliver so much more than some of the other people that are doing it. But you also do it for all the right reasons, and that's why I talk about intent all the time. That's what matters to me, intent, and that's what I look for now. I look for intent. It doesn't matter what people are saying.
That's right.
I look for the intention behind it. Are they trying to get something from it? Are they trying to, why are they doing what they're doing?
And pretty much everyone in this world is usually looking, not to be, cynical, but usually looking for something like what's in it for me.
Right.
If you don't look for that and you're doing it on behalf of someone else and you're really there to serve that person, then by all means, you will get from it as well. But not because that was your primary motive.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's why I do this show. I decided a long time ago I wanted to give back. I went through a journey. It was rough and it was bumpy, and so grateful for it because I am who I am today as a result of it. But now I want to be able to let other people hear, get our voices out there, let people see there are alternatives and people like you out there that can help them and make their journey so much better.
Oh, thank you.
So much better. I know you made mine better.
Oh, thank you. You made mine.
You're a gift. You really are.
And you are too.
Thank you. Thank you.
If you want the receipt on mine, I can give it to you. Just in case you want to return it.
I don't want the receipt. I love it. I love every minute. I still have the picture of the first reading because you let us take a picture of the book. I still have that, and I check it every once in a while, and I'm like, gosh, you're so darn accurate on things that I don't even know how other than the gift that you have. So,
thank you.
And that you're teaching me to really tap into mine, and you're so compassionate and so supportive, and you're you're a great cheerleader. You're like, just keep trying, just keep working on it.
Another thing we're going to have, if it's okay for me to mention, another thing we're going to have is we're going to be looking at how we not only feed our spiritual self, but we're going to be feeding our physical selves. So I'm going to have somebody coming on to in one of the classes to teach us not only how we take care of our physical bodies through wellness, but also how they actually, a doctor can actually heal us spiritually at the same exact time. And that will be through Dr. David Pollack of the Pollack Wellness Center.
Nice.
So he's going to be coming in for me, and I know I'll set that up. And
we should have him on with you next month. Yeah. Let's do that.
That's a great idea. Yeah, I like that.
Good. Yeah, because he's great, and you've spoken about him all the time.
Yeah, he's helped me tremendously.
Yeah.
For my own self and my own physical self, as well as my spiritual self. He's very highly spiritual. And I love that about a doctor.
Yeah.
It's rare you find that.
Well, you have to treat yourself holistically. We're not just an arm or a leg or, eyes. We're everything from the inside out. And
absolutely.
And I know that physically I'm less sick now as a result of my spiritual connections.
I always say that my spiritual self actually uses my other 5 senses as a processing center.
Yeah?
That's what it does.
Wow. Yeah. That was
so I'm all about the 6th sense.
Genius, Gary.
Thank you.
That was beautiful. That really encapsulates it very well.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're right. It's so good. I love having you on the show.
Thank you. I love being here.
Love having you on the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much for having me.
Again, it's beyondthespirit.com. They can do house blessings. They just have to talk to Marco. He'll take care of that for you. Gary, what's the phone number again?
631-889-0844.
That's right. And we want to just flood Marco with a lot of work.
That's right. He needs it.
Oh, and your email? Yeah, go ahead.
My email is beyond the spirits, BEYONDTHESPIRITS @gmail.com.
Yeah, so we're going to have to make a song for that so you can sing that out. Like the Disney Club.
Like cheerleaders.
Yeah.
BEY.
Okay, we're not going to do that right now.
All right.
But thank you. Thank you again. Oh, now I feel bad. All right, you can do it. No, I'm only kidding. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. Well, remember, do a little something for yourself every day. It starts there. It doesn't have to be big, but definitely take a moment. Do something for yourself every day. Create the habit. Create the new balance. Thank you so much for joining us on Healthy Lifestyle today. My heart is always lifted by sharing this time with you. I want to thank Gary Joseph for being on again.
Thank you.
And of course, our producer, Brian, who's wonderful. And join us on next Saturday right here on LI News Radio 1039 at 3 p.m. In the meantime, follow us on social media and make comments at Healthy Lifestyle with LA. Thank you for joining us on Healthy Lifestyle. I'm Lorianne Kazdia. Until next time, show up for you and show up big.